Betwabu, beautiful people. Betwabu, Betwabu. Top of the day, say any. Sawubona, yaya. Betwabu, Betwabu. All right, beautiful people. Let's get going. Let's get going. Today it is Tuesday, July the 7th, 2020, day 192. And we are reading Jeremiah 25, 26, and 27. And guess what, y'all? My phone is charged up 100%. Sorry about yesterday. We went out. I was trying to speed it up real fast. And I didn't have a charger that could reach like from where I'm at to the wall to charge it up. So I got cut off right when I was about to do it. So I posted a prayer at the bottom of the video in the comments section for those of you, some of you saw it. But if you didn't know, yes. So hopefully you said the prayer yourself yesterday. Hopefully you say it every day. All right, beautiful people. So today, like I said, I just said 25, 26, and 27 Jeremiah. So let's get started. Betwabu. All right, Jeremiah 25. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that was in the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the which Jeremiah the prophet spake unto all the people of Judah and unto all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, from the 13th year of Josiah, the son of Ammon, king of Judah, even unto this day, that is the 23rd year, the word of Yahuwah hath come unto me, and have spoken unto you, rising early and speaking, but ye have not hearkened. And Yahuwah hath sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear. They said, turn ye again now, everyone from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that Yahuwah hath given unto you and unto your fathers forever and ever. And go not after other gods to serve him, and worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. And he said, Yah has sent you other prophets that tell you to turn from your wicked, evil ways. And we know because all these prophets in here that we see, they're constantly telling you whose people the same thing, and they're just turning a deaf ear. The very words that will save their souls, save their lives, and continue to bless them. And go not after other... Hold on. I'll read 5 again. This is what they were saying. They said, turn ye again now, everyone from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that Yahuwah hath given unto you, and unto your fathers forever and ever. And go not after other gods to serve them, and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith Yahuwah, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt. Therefore thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith Yahuwah, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. See, when Yahuwah brings another king or another nation, he said they are my servants. He's using them at that point. So he called King Cyrus his servant. He called Nebuchadnezzar his servant because he had chosen them at that moment to do what he needed to be done. Verse 9, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith Yahuwah, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment and a hissing and perpetual desolations. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of millstones, and the lights of the candle. And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And it shall come to pass, when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, saith Yahuwah, for their iniquity in the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolations. So after he uses King Nebuchadnezzar to bring punishment on his people, he's going to bring punishment on Nebuchadnezzar and his people. I'm just telling you. And it shall come to... Oh, I just read that. Verse 13. And I will bring upon that land all my word which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jerusalem hath prophesied against all the nations. For many nations and great kings shall serve them. I'm sorry. For many I'm trying to read all fast today. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting ahead of myself, skipping stuff. Verse 14. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. For thus saith Yahuwah, the God of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then I took the cup at Yahuwah's hand and made all the nations to drink unto whom Yahuwah had sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment, a hissing and a curse, as it is this day. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azza, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Timnah, Buz, and all that are in the uttermost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert. You know, here is, let me just point this out, right? You know how I said, like, if you're reading, all the nations around will also, it should also give you an indication of where the people are currently at. Now, we all know where Arabia is at, right? Technically, I'm going to post a map, a picture. I took it the other day. Arabia is actually, you know, the land that they call Israel and Jerusalem now, that's actually a part of Arabia. And if you go back to one of the earlier maps, I think it's like a 1758 map. I snapped a picture of it. I saw it because it caught my eye. But all of that is considered Arabia back then. Like, and then they just changed the names over the years as they changed the maps and stuff and locations of places. But we know that's not the real land. But that was Arabia. So when I read stuff like this, because as you're learning, you'll realize that people like, okay, people have their own different theories about where the land is at. You know, so I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, you know, and some people say, well, we know that's not the land, but they say America is the land. And at one point, as I was studying, I was like, oh, that sounds about, oh, whoa, like, yeah, wait a minute. Hold on now. And I started to kind of believe that maybe this was the land. But then the more that I kept reading and kept paying attention, I was like, wait a minute, okay. So we clearly know, like this right here, and all the kings of Arabia, we know Arabia is over there. I'm like, okay, so that Arabia is not nowhere near the Americas. I'm like, okay. And then we think about Israel. Israel was scattered first. Remember the northern kingdom? When they were scattered by Assyria, they were scattered over to America. So mind you, they have been over here for a very, very long time. If you hear different people, they'll talk about like the tribe of Gad and different stuff, and they say this is our land over here in Americas. And I see a lot of them. I was like, you know what? There's some truth in that, but they haven't gone back searching far enough. Technically, they've been here a while, so maybe after generations, the information did not get passed down, that this was not originally their land. They were scattered here, and they've just been here for a very long time. Because you got to think about it. Remember, Judah, the southern kingdom, got to stay in the land. Although they got kicked out, they was allowed to come back in. Then they got kicked out and got to come back in. They got kicked out and got to come back in. Because remember also, between Africa and South America, there are trade routes, and there are also there are channels in the sea that will take you where you don't even need a sail. You can look this up. This is scientific, documented history, true. You can, you know, the ocean has currents. It's like lanes in the sea where it'll take you to certain areas. You don't even need a sail. If you just sit in a particular current, it will take you to the end of that current where it's taking you at. But in Africa, there's a current, a lane in the sea that will take you directly bring you directly from Africa to South America. You can look that up. That's something I'm looking into. I want to study all the sea lanes and stuff because it makes more things make sense. And I just said all that because this is one of the things when you pay attention to it, and when you pay attention to some of the places that are being called out, when you read some of the books in the Apocrypha, you can clearly tell that these lands over here are not the lands of, it is not the kingdom of Israel and Judah, the lands. This was not our original land. It really wasn't, you know. But some people, I ain't gonna say that they haven't, but they haven't gotten that far in their research yet. And I've been like hardcore research for like the last 2 years. And if y'all been in this longer than me, what's the problem? If I didn't figure that out, you know, I guess because I'm not, you know how some people research and they find something out and this seems to be their thing and they stick on it and it's like, boom, I'm here. I don't need to do no more research. This my thing, and I hang out around here. It's like they don't continue growing. It's like they harp on this, and then it's like they take this, although the information they have is true, they tend to begin to make doctrines out of different things, and they get people off and they stump people because they don't go further on with their research just to make sure everything lines up, you know. Because if you can even look at different people groups that are in different places and kind of go back through the history and just see, okay, what type of people, you know, although melanated people are indigenous to all places, there are different things you got to look at and like markers and signs and stuff. But I brought that out right here, verse 24, where it said, and all the kings of Arabia, because it brought that thought back to me in some of the maps that I have. But our land is over there in Africa, up in that region over there. But like I said, if you're not paying attention, you would just kind of miss it, you know. And for a while, I say about a month or two, I was like, you know what, this sound about right. Until until I kept looking, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, that doesn't make sense here. Well, how could that connect with this? Because when I started reading some of the stuff in the Apocrypha, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. If that's the case, we know that definitely is not over here in the Americas. And then when I found out that it actually snows in Africa in places, that added another piece of the puzzle that I was missing. I'm like, oh, with things where it talks about in Jubilees about the different lands that the Noah's sons split between themselves and what each land consisted of, you know. So I'm like, wait a minute. So it causes you to think. So you got to pay attention to like every word. All right, I'm done. I'll post that little map that I screenshot. Verse 24, Jeremiah 25. And all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the God of Israel, Drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I shall send among you. And it shall be, if ye refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, Ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should be utterly. For lo, I begin to bring evil upon the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yahuwah of hosts. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, Yahuwah shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for Yahuwah hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of Yahuwah shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. Howl, ye shepherds, and cry, and wallow yourselves in the ashes, ye principal of the flock. For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel. And the shepherd shall have no way, to flee, nor the principal of the flock to escape. A voice of the cry of the shepherds and a howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard, for Yahuwah hath spoiled their pasture, and the peaceable habitations are cut down because of the fierce anger of Yahuwah. He hath forsaken his covenant as the lion, for their land is desolate because of the fierceness of the oppressor and because of his fierce anger. Jeremiah chapter 26. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, the king of Judah, came this word from Yahuwah, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, stand in the court of Yahuwah's house, and speak unto all the cities of Judah, which come to worship in Yahuwah's house, all the words that I command thee to speak unto them, diminish not a word. If so be they will hearken, and turn every man from his evil way, that I may repent me of evil, which I purpose to do unto them because of the evil of their doings. And thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, if you would not hearken to me, to walk in my law, which I have set before you. See what he's constantly saying? And thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, if ye will not hearken to me, to walk in my law, which I have set before you, to hearken to the words of my servant the prophets, whom I sent unto you, both rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened. Then will I make this house like Shiloh, and will make this city a curse to all the nations of the earth. So the priests and the prophets and all the people heard Jeremiah speaking these words in the house of Yahuwah. Now it came to pass, when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking all that Yahuwah had commanded him to speak unto all the people, that the priests and the prophets and all the people took him, saying, Thou shalt surely die. Like, they was pissed with Jeremiah. They said, we done had it with you, boy. Let's go. Get like they about to kill Jeremiah.
What?
Well, they ain't gonna kill him. It's the people.
Okay.
He just told the people what Yah said, and they pissed about it.
Okay, that's understandable, because I'm gonna just say this now. My people were stupid back then. I'm gonna just say that. Bread fell out of the sky and they still was unsatisfied. I would.
Yeah. That's Jeremiah. All right, y'all. Now it came to pass, when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking all that Yahuwah had commanded him to speak unto all the people, that the priests, the prophets, and all the people took him, saying, Thou shalt surely die. Why hast thou prophesied in the name of Yahuwah, saying, This house shall be like Shiloh, and this shall be desolate without an inhabitant? And all the people were gathered against Jeremiah in the house of Yahuwah. When the princes of Judah heard these things, then they came up from the king's house unto the house of Yahuwah, and sat down in the entry of the new gate of Yahuwah's house. Then spake the priests and the prophets unto the princes and to all the people, saying, This man is worthy to die, for he hath prophesied against this city, as ye have heard with your ears. Then spake Jeremiah unto all the princes and all the people, saying, Yahuwah hath sent me to prophesy against this house and against this city all the words that ye have heard. Therefore now amend your ways and your doings. Like, they hold him up there, they ready to kill him. And he said, These ain't my words. Yahuwah said, Turn from your wicked ways. I can see he got right indignant with him. Therefore now amend your ways and your doings, and obey the voice of Yahuwah your God, and Yahuwah will repent him of the evil that he have pronounced against you. As for me, good morning, Auntie. As for me, behold, I am in your hand. Do with me as seemeth good and meet unto you. But know ye for certain that if ye put me to death, ye shall surely bring innocent blood upon yourselves and upon this city and upon the inhabitants thereof. For of a truth Yahuwah has sent me to speak unto you, to speak all these words in your ears. Then said the princes and all the people unto the priests and to the prophets, This man is not worthy to die, for he has spoken to us in the name of Yahuwah. They said, well, listen, shoot. Well, if he really is, then we know we might need to think this over, y'all. So now it's like, okay, well, this man has spoken in the name of y'all. Like, verse 17. Then arose, I'll read it again, verse 16. Then said the princes and all the people unto, you see how fickle they are? They just sway from one thought to another. Like, if y'all about it, y'all was gonna kill me, nigga, kill me. You know, but I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said nigger. But y'all get what I'm saying. You know. Then said the princes and all the people unto the priests and the prophets, this man is not worthy to die, for he have spoken to us in the name of Yahuwah our God. Now he your God, huh? Then rose up certain of the elders of the land and spake to all the assembly of the people, saying, Micah the Morathite prophesied in the days of Hezekiah king of Judah, and spake to all the people of Judah, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, Zion shall be plowed like a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of a forest. Did Hezekiah king of Judah and all Judah put him at all to death? Did he not fear Yahuwah and besought Yahuwah, and Yahuwah repented of the evil which he had pronounced against them? Thus we might procure great evil against our souls. And there was also a man that prophesied in the name of Yahuwah, Urijah, the son of Shemaiah of Kirijath-jearim, who prophesied against this city and against this land according to all the words of Jeremiah. Like, remember, they naming prophets now that have come. Like, y'all ain't crazy. Y'all know about the previous prophets that came. So y'all sitting here naming them, you know. There was also a man that prophesied in the name of Yahuwah, Urijah, the son of Shemaiah of Kirijath-jearim, who prophesied against this city and against this land according to all the words of Jeremiah. And when Jehoiakim the king, with all his mighty men and all the princes heard the words, they sought to put him to death. But when Urijah heard it, he was afraid and fled, and went into Egypt. And Jehoiakim the king sent men into Egypt, namely Elnathan, the son of Achbor, and certain men with him into Egypt. And they fetched forth Uriah out of Egypt, and brought him unto Jehoiakim, who slew him with the sword, and cast his dead body into the graves of common people. Nevertheless, the hand of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, was with Jeremiah, that they should not give him to the hand of the people to put him to death. Last chapter for today, Jeremiah chapter 27. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, the king of Judah, came this word unto Jeremiah from Yahuwah, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah unto me, Make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy neck, and send them to the king of Edom, and to the king of Moab, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon by the hand of the messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah the king of Judah. And command them to say unto their masters, Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the God of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto your masters, I have made the earth, the man and beast that are upon the ground, by my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me. And now I have given all these lands into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. He repeating it, Nebuchadnezzar, his servant. He coming for you. And the beasts of the field have I given him also to serve him. And all nations shall serve him, and his son, and his son's son, until the very time of his land come. And then many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him. And it shall come to pass that the nation and the kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation will I punish, saith Yahuwah, with the sword and with famine and with pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand. Therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon. For they prophesy a lie unto you, to remove you far from your land, that I should drive you out, and ye should perish. But the nations that bring their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, those will I let remain still in their own land, saith Yahuwah, and they shall till it and dwell therein. I spake also to Zedekiah the king of Judah according to all these words, saying, Bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live. Why will ye die, thou and thy people, by the sword, by the famine, and by pestilence, as Yahuwah hath spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon? Therefore hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy lies unto you. So Yahuwah is saying, you're going into captivity. He's surely coming. And matter of fact, I'm going to give him rule over the entire earth. Him, his son, his son's son, and his son's son, until his time has been fulfilled. And we know we're coming upon that fulfillment of time now, because we know America is one of the sons of Babylon, or the daughter of the great whore. Babylon is the whore, and America is the daughter of the great whore, or the son. Same thing, So he said, submit to them, and just kind of think about, if you think through over the years in history and what America has done. They even show it to you in movies. They give us propaganda, but they show you the truth of what they do. They go in and they subdue nations. Not that that nation is really doing anything to them, but because they want something from that nation. So they got to create a narrative to justify what they're doing in the eyes of the citizens, of the people who live here. Because people will cry out against injustice. People cry out, not all people, but a lot of people do cry out against injustice. So they have to create this narrative that they're the saviors and they're really the tyrants. We live in we live under a tyrant society, and we've been indoctrinated like we're the saviors. Like all these nations, they backing away from different things from us. Granted, the current leader is that not making it any better, so they're backing away from different things. He's backing away from different things, and the United States is isolating herself. And once she gets isolated and all the nations have backed away, these other nations are going to team up against her. That's what it says. That's what, if you're paying attention, you can clearly see this happening. They may still work together on some things, but only because they have to, till they get to a point. Like the saying, y'all heard this saying, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. Think about Russia and China, right? Think about that, and some of these other different places, and Iran and Iraq, and just all this stuff. They work together over there. Some of the stuff we see over here, it's like, wait a minute, but that ain't what it said over there in the international papers that I'm reading about. Somebody lying. You got to make sure that the papers that you're looking at, they're credible sources, and then you got credible sources, and then you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, you can clearly see who the big bully is. Verse 15, for I have not sent them, saith Yahuwah, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you. Also I spake to the priests and to all this people, saying, thus saith Yahuwah, hearken not to the words of your prophets that prophesy unto you, saying, behold, the vessel of Yahuwah's house shall now shortly be brought again from Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. Hearken not unto them. Serve the king of Babylon and live. Wherefore should this city be laid waste? Like he said, I'm bringing him. He said, if you don't give him no flack, just go on then. He trying to run the kingdom or whatever. But y'all give him flack, he gonna come for your head. And I'm going to give him authority to. So he said, submit to him. Submit to the king of Babylon, because I'm giving him this reign for the next period of time. Submit to him and you can live. If you don't put up a fight, he'll let you stay in your land and you can till your own land. And some of you won't be taken away, but some of you will. Some of you going to flee. All you that try to take off and got this out, we ain't serving the king of Babylon. You know who we are? Y'all, especially you. I'm talking about you. You're going into captivity. You're going to the sword. You're going to be eaten by wild animals of the field and the air. You straighten up. Serve him, because I'm sending him. If you don't serve him, you're going to end up dead. Or you're going to be in really hard bondage. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Verse 17. Hearken not unto them, unto the prophets that are lying to you, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Hearken not unto them. Serve the king of Babylon and live. Wherefore should this city be laid waste? But if they be prophets, and if the word of Yahuwah be with them, let them now make intercession to Yahuwah of hosts, that the vessels which are left in the house of Yahuwah, and in the house of the king of Judah, and at Jerusalem, go not to Babylon. For thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, concerning the pillars, and concerning the sea, and concerning the bases, and concerning the residue of the vessels that remain in this city, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took not when he carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from Jerusalem to Babylon, and all the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem. Yea, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the God of Israel, concerning the vessels that remain in the house of Yahuwah, and in the house of the king of Judah and of Jerusalem. They shall be carried to Babylon, and there they shall be until the day that I visit them, saith Yahuwah. Then I will bring them up and restore them to this place. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was Jeremiah 25, 26, and 27. We are on day 192. It is Tuesday, July the 7th, 2020. I hope you enjoyed the reading like I did. Now let's go to the blessing, which is found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I myself will bless them. Who will bless us? Yahuwah will bless us when we put his name upon us. All right, beautiful people, I love you, and I will see you bright and early in the morning.